All right, guys. So, thanks for tuning in. A lot of people requested my opinion on the video released by AWP, so I am going to pull it up here and I'm going to analyze it. Let's see. Adventures with Purpose. Oh, Lord. Yeah, 47 minutes. Let me see here. Okay. Hopefully you guys can hear this.
Confirming specialty search and rescue.
The Nevada County Sheriff Coroner.
The search for Kiely began.
She had a guy with her. She was asking me really weird questions, like in the sense of how do you put on your seatbelt?
Now we know we probably have a tie to Boca. This drop is a big drop.
A mother is missing her 16-year-old daughter. We need to find her, bring answers to this family.
We need to go get suited up.
Tonight, the weeks-long search for missing teenager Kiely Rodni ended just yards from where it began.
Whoa!
Call the authorities.
Hang on.
Search for missing teenager Kiely Rodni ended just yards.
Dude, I can see her car. Now, I've heard this. But I can see her car from the drone. Okay. First thing right off the bat, it's like 30 seconds into the video. I can see the top of her car from the drone they're using. All right, there's my first bit of analysis on the video.
From where it began.
Call the authorities.
I'm going to keep track of everything I analyze here. That way I can go back to it if I need to. Woo, it's loud. Let me get through all this here. Okay, it looks like they start talking to the tow truck driver.
Shortly after midnight on August 6th, and her phone was turned off around 12:33 a.m.
Oh, here's an ad.
Law enforcement has expressed frustration at the lack of viable tips, and that few of the 200 to 300 people at the party are coming forward with information. So we just got out of Best Buy after picking up some supplies here in Reno, Nevada. We're on our way to work the Kiely Rodni case just down the street in Truckee, California. And Nick, a longtime supporter, fan of ours, appreciate you for coming up to us, possibly had...
Okay, so we know now that Nick is a longtime supporter and fan of theirs. He's not new to them, so we know that.
some information in regards to the Kiely Rodni case. So why don't you explain a little bit about what you may have run into?
So my name is Nick. I work at an emergency roadside assistance program. I got a call up in Truckee, Boca, for a battery call. So pretty much that means that the vehicle can't start. So I went en route up there, found the vehicle. At the time, I didn't realize that this was a situation until later on. But
Let me stop right there.
Yeah.
You said you went to Boca.
yes, sir.
So over near Boca Lake?
Yes, sir.
So not Prosser Lake, Prosser Creek Lake.
It's right by Crosser Creek.
Yeah, so just north. So you went to Boca.
At first, when I went there, I realized after my test that, everything was working great on the vehicle. At that point in time, I did notice that, she was very hesitant and very skeptical on everything that was going on. She was asking me really weird questions, in the sense of, how do you put on your seatbelt correctly? And, okay, and then she asked me to show her on how to connect.
Wow. So he's remembering specific stuff here about how she's asking him to do seat belts and stuff like that, guys. I mean, his memory's pretty good here on this stuff.
To like her actual belt. After that, she was stating on how she was there all night and she couldn't get her vehicle started due to the fact that now we both realized it was in neutral. She was wearing a sweatshirt, so it looked like she has been there for quite a while.
What color was the sweatshirt?
It was a gray sweatshirt.
Gray sweatshirt. Was it dark gray or light gray?
It was light gray.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, there was a guy there that was with her at time being. He was wearing a black San Francisco flat top ball cap.
Wow. Like, he is being really detailed. His memory, wow, his memory's good.
Facing forwards, brown hair that's sticking out just a little bit on the sides. It was kind of like they were both kind of at unease, is what it looked like for me. Like, as if either they had a crazy night or a crazy day, or there's something going on I couldn't know, and at the time I didn't realize what was going on.
So he knows pretty much right now that there's something going on with, you know, there's something going on personality-wise with him.
But other than that, he was, a thinner built guy is the best way I could put it, with a bro tank, and it was white bro tank. He had some freckles on his face, like, or maybe it was like acne or whatnot, but it was on both sides of his face. He was also a little bit like shorter than me, so I'm 6'3".
In hindsight, you're realizing all of this. When do you think that this took place? Was it before, during the day, after she disappeared?
To be honest with you, it's either right after she disappeared or right before she disappeared.
Okay.
Whoa. Uh-oh, guys. First red flag. He knew exactly all this other information, but he can't tell you what day he went on the call.
But it was around noonish, like 11 o'clock in the morning.
He can even tell you what time, but he can't tell you what day.
When I got out to her. During that period of time, after the period, I told her that I was going to leave and I hope you have a great day. Vehicle, I told her to keep it running for a couple of hours to obviously make sure everything's working good on the vehicle, charging system wise. At that point in time, then I left, and then a week later is when I saw at a coffee shop that she was gone.
You saw this on a flyer or something?
Yeah, but then everything spiraled out of control, and I got in contact with the detective and tried to do everything I could, and yeah, and then I saw you guys.
And now we know we probably have a tie to Boca, you know, which was already on my radar. Do you know who placed the call to your roadside company?
So I can't get details. Calls don't go through.
Okay, that call probably will be recorded. So all that information, the phone number and all that, will be sent to the police.
For me, they go through
Dispatch, so you don't have... So when you were digitally dispatched, did you call them to say you were coming, or you just showed up?
I did call and nothing went through. It went straight to voicemail. Yeah.
Do you know if she had a phone on her at the time?
She did state that her phone was dead.
Her phone
and
was
so
dead.
she used whatever guy, whoever this was, she used.
All right, so he's saying, I mean, man. Okay, there's some hold on, guys.
Used his phone, so that's how she did get in contact.
And what was... You mentioned, like, she was asking funny questions and acting weird.
Granted, I at the time I didn't realize again that.
Yeah. I mean, I've been in the towing industry my whole life, so you see a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of weird stuff, and it's actually pretty normal.
Yeah.
You know, so I can see why at the time it's just a normal call.
She kept on going over that, like, how do you like, you know, secure your seatbelt firmly and like do it correctly, and that's
When she was asking this, was the guy that she was with right there too?
Or on the opposite side of the car.
So he could hear the conversation as well?
Every single time the guy would come over to us, she would go on to the other side, and it was just like a back and forth, like a tag team. But it would say like one person would come over, she wouldn't stay near him, and then it would go vice versa. Or if we were at the front of the car going about the battery and talking about the battery, he was always on one side, she was on another. They were never close to each other.
She was uncomfortable. Yeah. Because that screams awkwardness and someone being uncomfortable, and when in that scenario, if he was there with her, he should have been right next to her, if not dealing with you the entire time, and not her. Did she seem high or intoxicated, or?
I thought that maybe she was either hungover or just had a really rough day. She looked distressed.
Can you show me on the map where you saw her?
Absolutely.
All right, so we're here in Reno. Let's go Let's go down to Truckee. There's Prosser, there's Boca. Just drop a pin on the road exactly where you saw her.
Well, we're at the right place, right? Boca.
He can even remember exactly on the map where he seen her. But he can't remember the day he went on the call.
You follow this road down. I think that is the turnout. Right there. Yeah, this is it. And so right there, how she was coming out this way,
So
and
her front end was facing 894.
Yeah.
All right. And did you leave before her, or did she leave before you?
I left before her.
Was there anybody else around?
There was people far back here, yes, but not near her, no.
Did you notice anything in particular in her car at all?
I mean, besides perfume bottles and like, yeah, actually there was a perfume bottle that was in the center console, and that was all that I recall, to be honest.
Did she have anything on her keys at all?
I don't remember.
Did you say that you guys have cameras that could possibly get some sort of facial recognition on?
Yeah, so we do indeed. We have cameras facing front and rear of our vehicles, as well as that we do have like audio, so we can pick up audio from inside and outside of the truck. So we did have that, and I'm guaranteed, I mean, my vehicle is facing directly towards hers, so, and that's how I normally do it for my protection.
What's the window you're giving us of when this happened?
Either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, I believe.
He don't even know what... He can remember all this shit, but he can't remember what day the call was. I mean, come on now.
Because the weekends I usually cover Truckee, so... And that Friday I also worked in Truckee, so yeah.
If you were to make a bet on what day it was, what would you say?
I mean, when I was looking back under my GPS, under my phone of where I've been, I was there both Saturday and Sunday, farther into Boca.
So you still... He can be real specific about all this shit, but he can't be specific about the actual day. Something stinks with that story right there, guys.
Thing you just heard unfolded right here where I'm standing. Talking about where Nick described him parking his service van. When he pulled up to give the battery service to Kiely, he parked his van right here, facing that direction. Her vehicle was parked right over here, facing 894, that way. We're going outside of what we would normally do, because we're normally working cold cases that have hardly had any resources whatsoever applied to them. This case has had over 10,000 man hours over the last 2 weeks placed in at Prosser. I'm confident in what has been done at Prosser. It doesn't mean I'm not going to check it, it just means that I'm not going to start there. We're going to make the most of our time by starting where we know not that much work was put into it. I'm a firm believer in second chances. However, some things don't deserve forgiveness. Maliciousness does not deserve forgiveness. Cold-blooded, cold-heartedness, taking the life of a 16-year-old deserves zero forgiveness. I have set a radius of 10 miles around Prosser.
Whoa. Why would they say that? Why would they say that? Let me back that up. Why would they say that?
A firm believer in second chances. However, some things don't deserve forgiveness. Maliciousness does not deserve forgiveness. Cold-blooded, cold-heartedness, taking the life of a 16-year-old deserves zero forgiveness.
That sounds to me like they know that foul play was involved with that statement. But yet the title of their video says murder or accident. I may have more questions after this, guys, and I do have answers.
I have set a radius of 10 miles around Prosser Creek Reservoir. We're going to work hard to clear Stampede, Independence, Boca, and Prosser Creek, all within that 10-mile range.
Yeah, tomorrow marks 2 weeks since the Truckee teenager disappeared after attending a party at a campground. We are learning tonight that a new group of volunteers are coming from out of state to help find her.
Everybody just wants the same outcome. It doesn't matter who finds her.
40 to 50 feet offshore, you could easily conceal a vehicle right in here.
Doug Bishop and his team is ready to join the search for missing Truckee teenager Kiely Rodni.
We all have one goal. We all just want to find Kiely. I just located in the corner of this cove here a target that I cannot identify.
Alright, he's dropping a fishing magnet.
It's not going to come up the way a vehicle would if it had been under here for 10 years. Based on the height, it's not anything. However, I just want to make sure. The reason that this is suspicious is because you could dump a car down that hill back here in this corner, in this little cove, and no one will see it.
The team coming in just days after authorities announcing they are scaling back the search for Kiely.
We've had over like 9,000 man hours into searching, which is pretty astronomical. Our biggest problem is where do we go and how do we keep sustaining this?
They just want help. They don't care how it gets done. They just want it done. Hey, Nick.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I was just doing a test to see if a vehicle did go down in here, if they had cell service to call somebody, because we're not far from where she had to call because of the apparently couldn't start the vehicle.
Right.
So, okay, just testing.
All right, buddy.
All right, bye.
So we've cleared the area behind the campground that was just behind where Nick serviced her car, allegedly, the day after she went missing. And we're now coming up along 894 as it heads north up towards Stampede Reservoir. There's a guardrail right there.
However, if a vehicle went off this, you would have evidence of it. Unfortunately, we didn't find anything, but at least we can say we cleared it, and she is not in this lake, or at least her vehicle isn't.
I hope it's an accident, because accidents happen, as tragic as it would be regardless if she's no longer with us. An accident is better than somebody maliciously doing something horrible to her. I mean, you could just imagine the way that would happen in your last moments, knowing that someone is taking your life, versus I'm in an accident and it's quick and it's just different. It's a lot different, and I hope that if that's how this has ended, it's an accident versus at the hand of somebody else.
What would you want to say to Kiely tonight?
I love her so much. So many people love her. And we're all looking and we're trying so hard, and I'm so sorry we haven't found you yet, but we're not giving up and just hang in there, sweetie, because we're going to bring you home.
Search for a missing 16-year-old California girl who vanished after a campground.
They're kind of going over this news.
Investigators believe someone knows something. They're asking anyone with information to come forward.
Yeah, you would think somebody would know something, huh?
Or a friend, or a community member, and you don't know. It's a nightmare. But I don't want to find her. I want to be able to clear all this water and be able to tell the family, she's not here. She's not here.
That was, I think, the area of interest, but it looks like there's no way you could get a vehicle in there.
So we're here.
Presenting Home Chef Oven Ready Meal.
Oh, we got an ad.
Step 2. Cook the meal in the oven-safe tin.
We're here at one of the ponds behind the shopping center, and as we can tell, there's not hardly any access whatsoever for a vehicle, plus it is extremely shallow. We're here, the ground is a lot harder, so the tire tracks are a lot harder to see. However, we can see tire tracks clear as day. You got a tire track right here.
Looks like
Look at this. See that? Those are tire tracks. We also have, equipment
shell
there.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard shell, pebble rock. You'd have to look close, but I think you would be able to tell tire tracks.
Trucks during the day, probably workers. But whether or not we can see tire tracks, it doesn't matter, because I can see out at least more than 100 feet. You can clearly see the growth. In the growth, the pattern in the growth, the vegetation, nothing's been changed. If a car would go in, there'd be a path, and a car's not going to go that far out right here. There's no path, there's nothing cut. You could launch a car off here, though. It's just, you're not going to hide it right there.
That was a no-go. Must have been some pond that they searched.
Saturday, August 20th, we're at Donner Lake, Truckee, California. We can see a lot of visibility. I can see the bottom. I still can see the bottom. Wow. You know, we can't see it on drone. So right here where it stops, it drops off significantly. So if it were to come in here, it's gonna make it, this drop is a big drop. So it's gonna keep, if it went in here, it's gonna keep going. We're not going to be able to see it.
Although the team could not say specifically what brought them out here to Donner Lake, they are concentrating on the boat launch and the area surrounding it.
So they're on Donner Lake now.
4 feet, 5 feet, 10 feet, 16, 7.
So we know that she's not on Donner Lake. Wonder when they get to Placer. Let me see here.
17 rocks. For Kiely Rodni, we're beginning right here at Ground Zero, Prosser Family Recreation Site.
Here we go,
Where Kiely, 16-year-old Kiely, disappeared from, according to law enforcement, this was her last known location. Yesterday, we based our search off of a tip that we deemed credible. We took that, we dissected it, and determined that we should start in a different area. Those areas were within our 10-mile radius. We were able to...
All right. He said they started with a tip that did seem credible. Makes you wonder who they got that tip from.
Rule them out, and that's what brings us back to square one here at Prosser Family Campground.
Kiely and her family are from the local area here in Truckee, California. And everywhere we've gone along this search, we've seen these posters absolutely everywhere. It's great to see a community come together in support for this family in need. And it's also because of a community like you that we are able to do what we do. So please, if you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, share, and watch these videos. We really appreciate everything you do for us.
All right, Prosser Creek Reservoir. This is it, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. Of course, a lot of questions, as you did mention there, and a big one is this dive team was able to find her. They went out there this weekend, found her pretty quickly, while investigators searched that area and haven't found her. Have they responded to say, I guess, why that is?
Pushes out. Time is 10:41. We are now on Prosser Creek Reservoir. This is, according to law enforcement, Kiely's last known location.
So they must have got the tip from law enforcement.
So we're looking for a silver vehicle. Her Honda CRV is silver in color. Helicopters have stated that they could see the bottom of this reservoir. We've had multiple different extreme levels of sonar utilized by different...
Okay, so helicopters could see the bottom of it. And when I first started watching this video, I could see the car via a freaking drone.
Different sonar teams in this reservoir. I'm confident in what they've done. However, and not to sound cocky, but if we haven't searched it, it hasn't been searched. That's our motto, so that we stay efficient and protect the integrity of everything we do as we're working for families and law enforcement. So I'm theorizing that the bottom of this reservoir is a similar color to silver. Could it have not been seen? Absolutely. Could the car be in here? According to law enforcement, like I said.
You could clearly see that thing stick out. You could clearly see her Honda CRV stick out from the silhouette of the lake bottom from that AWP drone. We all can see it if you've watched this at the beginning of the video.
We are at her last known location. They said her cell phone stopped pinging right here at 12:33 a.m. on August 6th. Today we're going to be putting myself and Nick 2 boats in. For one, it's going to be great training for Nick. As you guys know, we're training Nick to be a team lead for our second team. So not only is 2 boats better than 1, but we're also utilizing my ability to put Nick out in front of me so I can see what he's seeing, see what he missed.
All right.
You know, I feel the same way. A kid goes missing after attending a party of 200.
Here comes an ad.
I've been getting paid $1,000 a month, if not more, just from this app on my phone.
200 to 300 people. There's always, most likely, something that happened at that party. Someone knows something.
Right.
Someone possibly did something. It's an accurate and fair assessment to make. Not only one person knows, but multiple people know. This boat ramp over here is in our target area as well. This entire reservoir. But we have another boat ramp right here. And you can see the cars, how they pull down right to the water all the way over here. So if something bad happens, you could put a car. We're gonna find the vehicle.
Come on.
I would fully expect to find it.
Where
Really
is
shallow,
it?
man. It's only 2 feet.
I'm looking around.
Hey, does this lake get pretty dry at the end of the summer?
This has probably been the driest it's been in a long time.
Really? Okay. Oh, there's some weird. Let me see the camera. We'll go by it a couple times. There's something creating a big shadow right there. So we're gonna go. It's right off this point. How could, if they scanned it, how would they miss that? So I'm assuming it's nothing because they did have dive teams, but I don't want to be the guy that just says, "Oh, it's nothing" because it doesn't look like a car.
Hey Doug, Devin over here. We may have something. It's hard to tell.
My scope doesn't work, so it's hard to verify, but we're definitely getting a solid cache shadow.
Where are you at?
Coordinates to, I sent the coordinates to Carson.
So if it's sending out a shadow, it's pretty tall.
But we're on shoot, is this the eastern part of the shore? I know. We're by the other boat ramp. Not the one that you guys went towards, but the one at the top of the lake.
So we're gonna head over here to the other side of the reservoir where there are lots of drive lanes down to the water's edge where people have cookouts, get-togethers, parties, family gatherings. You know, this is a prime location where Kiely's vehicle could have made it into the reservoir.
So this may be the beginning of, finding her car right here.
Is that what you just saw?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a look at the sonar.
It's just a big shadow there. You see that?
It doesn't make sense though. It's only 10 feet of water.
To me,
We
the sonar
definitely
looks
have
like
something
a.
man-made. Big.
It's probably nothing, but it was a big shadow.
To me, it looked like a big old tree.
Isn't that weird? I mean,
Part
it's
of a
just
tree.
big.
It's definitely something directly under us right now. What is that, Carson?
Yep.
Is that a boat?
Looks like a
Is
boat.
it an SUV?
But
Whatever it is, it has build-up on it.
that's
Could
it.
be a car.
I can see the
More in the shape
contour of
of
the
a
bank
boat.
going down.
And I'm seeing similarities that show build-up, which we shouldn't have build-up on this car. It's only been 2 weeks.
It looked like an upside-down sunken boat.
Possibly. Could be a boat. It's something, though. I believe it's a car. And I have to be quiet because I don't want to alarm the entire campground right now. This is an ongoing investigation.
There's people right there where they're searching.
Man, we're getting some funny imaging on this, which is indicative of a newer vehicle. There it is. See that? What is that? That's a wheel. See the wheel?
Okay, he's using a side scan now.
Is it a wheel? Is it a boat? It's like a wheel.
It's almost kind of like an
Look at that.
ultrasound.
Look at that. That's a wheel. That's a wheel. We have a wheel.
They're on to it now. Yeah, they know. There goes the fishing magnet. Let's test to see if it's metal.
It's tall, whatever it is.
Oh, did it grab?
Got it. Got it.
Yeah, he knows. He knows it's metal.
We got a car. We got a car. So,
Come on, guys. What's
I'm
next?
trying to pull myself directly over it.
And you can tell how heavy it is from the force it takes to get that magnet off of it.
It's not giving a good reading, but there's a wheel. You see it?
Well, you know now. It's metal. It's got a wheel. It's time to go get suited up, probably.
We need to go get suited up.
Yep.
We need to figure out how to get our RV over here.
And there's people right behind them.
You guys put us in this position. Everybody that supports us, y'all put us in this position. We wouldn't be able to afford to do this if it wasn't for you. Let's assess our situation. 18 different agencies. Over 19,000 man hours have been put into this. Not a zero vehicle was found in this reservoir. That.
Oh, got Dad. It's going to be interesting to see what they say here.
That is giving me a really weird reading. It looks just like a car. It looks just like an SUV. And it looks like it's giving me some
Now, did you guys hear, even them, even they, AWP, had issues with deciphering what it could really be?
readings the way a newer car would. So amazing scan. Great job, man. Great job scanning that. We need to do this as quietly as possible.
Yeah, I was fixing to say, how they gonna do this without?
And it's slipping. It's slipping on some of the vehicle the way a newer car would, and that's just, it's not getting a. It's smooth. I can tell that it's smooth. Is it a boat? It absolutely could be a boat, but I doubt it, man.
Most boats are
a boat with a wheel.
Right. No one at camp can know what we're doing.
Yeah, at this point, guys, they've got to be like, because as soon as they do notify somebody, they know that place is going to be swarmed and people are going to be kicked out of that area.
Everybody's phones need to be turned off. If you have a phone, you need to turn your phone off right now. The last thing that we want to do is cause alarm to the family and or the local law enforcement. If this is a car and it's not the car we're looking for, I want to be able to do that peacefully. I don't want to cause a turmoil. If anybody knows that we found a car right now, it's gonna be unnecessary. It's gonna be unnecessary trauma for the family. We need to go back to the ramp and cause as little. We found nothing. We're just moving locations. That's all.
Okay.
All right.
I have to say that's a good
This is
idea.
her. This
a great call.
means all hope is lost as far as her still being out there,
Right.
and her showing up, her being found safe. This is devastating. This is as devastating as it gets. It's different when we're finding somebody who's been missing for 20 and 30 years.
Right.
This child, 16-year-old, same age as my daughter. She's only been missing for 2 weeks. Literally, the campground is right up over the hill. Right over the hill. This car is 3/10 of a mile from the campground she was at.
Okay, so they marked it with a buoy. He knows as soon as he puts on scuba diving gear, it's gonna tip everybody off at that campground. I wonder if they cleared everybody out before they done this, so nobody. Yeah, them people are gone. They might have cleared them out.
This is absolutely a crime scene. It's an active investigation. Our job is to be here.
Whoa! 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 Well, I guess it is a crime scene until they prove differently.
This is absolutely a crime scene. It's an active investigation. Our job is to be here to find the where, which we have done. Now we need to assess it appropriately. Full assessment. Condition of the vehicle, windows up or down. Do not remove license plate like we normally do.
Copy that. I'm going to start my descent.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as he goes underwater, I mean, you can basically see the front of the car.
Confirm. I see the vehicle and the license plate.
That's the rear, but you could see it almost as soon as he went in.
10-4. Do a full assessment, methodically, slowly. Make sure you focus on footage of the vehicle so that we can accurately relay that to the authorities.
There's the
The vehicle
tag.
is upside down.
There's the ram.
I repeat, it is upside down. I'm at the rear of the vehicle now, working my way around towards the driver's side. Over.
10-4. I read you loud and clear.
I'm approaching the driver's side window, trying to get a look inside.
Guys, it looks like the driver's side. Is that the back window or front window? Looks like the front window. So is the driver's side front window not busted?
Cannot positively identify anybody inside here.
Guys, it looks like the front driver's side window was not busted.
10-4. Take your time. Be safe.
There's the back window, which is, I guess, halfway down.
10-4. I read you loud and clear.
There are human remains in the vehicle. Over.
10-4.
Okay, no, there's the driver's side window. Okay, so driver's side window is busted. Yeah, it looked like the passenger side window wasn't, though.
The passenger window is broken out.
Oh, no, the passenger window's broken out. Okay, he just said the passenger side window's broken out. So, guys, the driver's side didn't look like it was broken out because there's light reflecting off of it.
Rear driver's side window is halfway down.
Copy that. Rear driver's side window is down.
Apply the line and turn top side.
Hey, I'm your man, Steve Harvey.
Okay, so he surfaced.
Yep.
He's processing what he's seen.
That's what we do it for, brother. Good job. Good job. It's positive, you know? All right.
She's in the back of the vehicle. She's not in the driver's seat. It looks suspicious to me.
Yeah.
Vehicle's upside down. One window is halfway down. One window is all the way down. Call the authorities.
We help families all across the nation, and when we find out, they are notified first. So we're going to notify them first. My very next call will be to local authorities.
Right there? Is the red guy?
Yes, sir.
Here comes someone on a four-wheeler.
And in our investigation
it's her
coming
dad.
into this, this is just what we do. We find vehicles underwater. We specialize in it. I don't know what you guys know, and you know we don't always know the why. We just try to find the where, and that's why I can't relate with whatever you're speaking on right now. The car is upside down, but that's common when a car goes into water because the wheels make it buoyant.
And the windows are closed, probably.
All the windows except for one. Yes.
One's halfway down. Which one? One's all the way down.
So Nick is my diver.
Which window's up or down?
The, what was it?
Driver rear.
Driver rear was down and the passenger rear was halfway.
Is she seatbelted in?
No.
Is she in the driver's seat?
No.
She's not.
She's
in the back?
She's in the back.
Yes.
I would recommend. It's your daughter. This your daughter. Dude. Do what you want to do. I would recommend
You
this
can
is
tell
not
at this point the parents are really distressed, guys.
a part of that.
Her dad is.
Yeah.
That's going to be my last one.
I'm Doug. Who are you with? Who are you with?
Detective with Nevada
The
County.
dad's
Okay.
leaving, talking to a
Yeah,
detective.
behind me is the buoy under. We see the buoy behind me. 14 feet under the buoy is her vehicle. My diver was able to identify there are remains in the back.
So now everybody's swarming. Here comes all the law enforcement, helicopter.
The specialty search and rescue team, Adventures with Purpose, say that they have located the body and vehicle of the missing teen. They say they found Rodni inside her car, which is in just 14 feet of water. The team says they've notified family and law enforcement. Placer County Sheriff's Office will now be taking over the investigation.
Well, looks like we're toward the end of the video.
She was last seen around midnight at a high school graduation party with more than 100 people. Kiely had texted her mother that night, telling her she...
Let's see how they pull this thing. I want to see them pulling it out of the water. Someone was telling me about the wheels turning. Okay, the back wheels are turning.
We believe out of the 200 to 300
Which is
juveniles
normal.
and young adults who were at that party, somebody must know something.
And the front wheels are turning backwards. Looks like the officer's reaching in there and maybe straightening up the steering wheel. I don't know. So they could have put it in neutral. Yeah, they're turning the steering wheel. I see a guy turning the steering wheel right now. So that's what they're doing.
This just into our newsroom. The Nevada County Sheriff Coroner has confirmed the body found in the car that was pulled from Prosser Lake over the weekend is that of missing truckee teen Kiely Rodni.
All right, guys. So the only two things I really, the only couple things I really pulled from this is the tow truck driver can remember all these little bits and pieces of the encounter he had with whoever he encountered, but he cannot remember the day. And the other thing that I'm taking away from this is, you know, the statements that they made, you know, this is a crime scene, making reference to how someone could take the life of a 16-year-old. And then you can see the car next to AWP's raft, because obviously they were using their own drone. You could see the car next to their raft. So that tells me that's before, because remember, police ran them off and then pulled it out. So that tells me that that drone footage was before they even called police, or maybe while they were waiting on police. I don't know. But you could see that car next to their raft underwater. So yeah. Why wasn't that spotted by officials from the air? A lot of questions, guys. A lot of questions. Hopefully we get the answers to this. So stay with me. I'll do the best coverage you can, and try not to get into the try to be as factual as I can on this, and we'll see what happens.